Barbarossa! 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 The red beard rises on the Mediterranean Sea. Barbarossa! Barbarossa! The terror of the Christians sailing free. Islands in the Ottoman age, Arusian Hayreddin wrote a different kind of page. Two brothers from the Aegean who chose the Corsair way and made the whole Mediterranean fear their name one day. Who ruled the Mediterranean? Barbarossa! The Redbeard, who did the Sultan call his admiral? Barbarossa! Hayreddin! Did Spain ever stop him? Never! Not once! Took Algiers and made it his own base, and built a fleet that put the Spanish fleets to chase. He raided Italy and France and Spain along the shore, and gave the Ottoman Sultan what no admiral had before. Two brothers from the Aegean rose to rule the sea. Arouge fell in battle, but Hayreddin stayed free. He took Algiers, he took Tunis, he took the Spanish pride. The Sultan made him admiral of every Ottoman tide. From the Bosphorus to Gibraltar, his red flag flew. Every Christian navy learned what Barbarossa knew, that the Mediterranean was never theirs to keep, while Barbarossa sailed it and the Corsairs did not sleep. They called him Barbarossa for the red beard that he wore, and every ship that saw it turned and ran for shore. The finest admiral the Ottoman Empire ever had was a Greek Corsair from the Aegean and his brother lad. And every Corsair after him who sailed the Middle Sea sailed in the shadow of the red beard, sailing free from Algiers and from Tunis and from every Barbary shore. Barbarossa showed them what the Mediterranean was for. Barbarossa, the red-beard admiral supreme. Barbarossa, more powerful than any Christian dream. Two brothers from the Aegean who refused to bow. The Mediterranean answered to the red-beard then and now. Corsair, Corsair, Ottoman pride. Corsair, Corsair, the Middle Sea wide. Barbarossa, history bowed the finest Corsair name, the Mediterranean aloud. Two brothers from a Greek island, one died fighting the Spanish, one became the greatest admiral in Ottoman history. The Mediterranean remembers both. On Corsair gold and Corsair steel and stone, and every day who ruled it called the Corsairs his own. For 300 years the white city of the North African shore was the finest corsair base that the Mediterranean ever bore. Who ruled Algiers? The Corsairs! 300 years! Who feared Algiers? Everyone! Spain, France, England, all! What made Algiers powerful? The Corsairs! Always the Corsairs! From Algiers they raided up and down the Spanish coast and took the prizes that the Mediterranean valued most. Silver from the Spanish galley and silk from Italian shore, and ransoms from the noble families wanting nothing more. 300 years of raiding and the Spanish wanting more. 300 years the white city stood proud above the sea. 300 years of Algiers keeping Corsairs free. Algiers, Algiers, white city of the deep. Algiers, Algiers, secrets that she keeps. Algiers, Algiers, Corsair golden stone. 300 years of Algiers calling Corsairs home. Ottoman Sultan sent his blessing and his flag, and Algiers flew the crescent while the Corsairs filled their bag of prizes from the Christian ships that dared to sail between the Corsair coast and everything that Corsairs had seen. 300 years of Corsairs on the Algerian shore. Algiers, Algiers, Corsair golden stone. 300 years of Algiers calling Spain tried to take it twice, England tried once, America tried at the end. And for 300 years Algiers answered to nobody, nobody but the Corsairs. The finest business on the Mediterranean Sea was not the trade in silk or spice or pottery, but the taking of a noble on a ship from Spain or Rome, and writing to his family about the price of home. What is worth more than cargo? The noble in the hold. Why is the noble worth more? His family pays to get him back. How much do we ask? Everything they have starred high. The Corsairs ran a ransom business very organized, with agents in the European parts who specialized in carrying the letters to the families of the caught and negotiating prices for the prisoners they brought. The ransom letter goes to Spain tonight. The ransom letter written very polite. The ransom letter asks a reasonable fee for the safe return of whoever holds the key. Ransom, ransom, write it fair and clear. Hey. Ransom, ransom, the reply comes near. Hey. Ransom, ransom, business on the sea. Oh. The finest Mediterranean industry. The redemptionist friars came from Rome each year, with gold collected from the faithful far and to buy the Christian captives from the Barbary shore. And the Corsairs took the gold and took some more. The ransom letter goes to Spain tonight. Oh! Ransom, ransom, business on the sea. Oh, the finest Mediterranean industry. Friars came with gold. The Corsairs took the gold. Released some prisoners, kept others for next year. The finest subscription business the Mediterranean ever saw. Making kingdoms kneel. Salt and steel. Ocean wide and cold, it is a blue lake rings by kingdoms of the old, where every city wants the shipping lane control, and salt and steel decide who pays the final toll. What decides the Mediterranean? Salt and steel! Always! What do the Corsairs bring to every shore? What do the Spanish bring? Silver! And we take it with salt and steel. The galleys were the weapon of the Middle Sea for years, before the sailing ship replaced them with new fears. 100 oars on each side driven by the slaves below, and Corsair captains knowing every current and the flow. Hey! Salt and steel upon the Middle Sea. Salt and steel and nobody sails free. Salt and steel from Algiers to the Nile. Salt and steel across every Mediterranean mile. Salt, steel, Corsair way. Salt, steel, every single day. Salt, steel, blue sea white. Salt and steel on the Mediterranean tide. At Lepanto in 1571, the Christian fleet decided it was finally done, with Ottoman control and hit the Corsair fleet. But even after Lepanto, nothing was complete. Hey! Salt and steel upon the Middle Sea. Salt, steel, Corsair way. Salt and steel on the Mediterranean tide. Lepanto changed the ships, but not the sea. The Corsairs came back, they always came back. Salt and steel, the Mediterranean never forgets. Hey! Never forgets. Hey, hey, hey. White walls above the harbor on the North African shore, a city built on Corsair gold and something more. The market's full of silk and spice and everything between, the finest city on the Mediterranean never seen.
The White City,
rising from the sea,
Algiers,
the Corsair capital. What does Algiers look like from the sea?
White, blindingly white.
What does it smell like?
Spice and salt and something sweet.
What does it feel like?
Like nowhere else.
Like nowhere on earth. The terraced houses climbing up the hill above the bay, and minarets catching the light at the end of day. And in the harbor, Corsair ships loading up to sail, while the markets never closed and the merchants never paled.
The White City shines above the blue. The White City
calls the Corsairs through.
The White City
built on salt and gold.
The White City
300 years old.
White City,
White City harbor bright.
White City,
White City Corsair lights.
White City,
White City hill and bay. The White City of Algiers is here to stay. And every Corsair who came home from raiding on the sea looked first for the white walls. That meant he was free of the ocean and the Christian fleet and everything behind, and found in the White City something like a peace of mind.
The White City shines above the blue. White City,
White City, Corsair light.
The White City of Algiers
is here to stay. White, 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 white. White walls above the harbor, the smell of the market, the sound of the city, home for every Corsair.
The White City
was always home.
the drawn sword of Islam on the sea. Dragut raised the finest corsair that ever chose to be. A student of Barbarossa and a master in his own right, who made the Knights of Malta tremble in the night. Who was Barbarossa's finest student? Dragut raised.
Who terrified the Knights of Malta?
Dragut,
the drawn sword. Did the Christians ever capture him?
Once.
They captured him once.
And then Barbarossa bought him back.
He was too valuable to lose.
The Genoese captured Dragut once upon a raid, and chained him to an oar as if he were a trade. But Barbarossa ransomed him with gold and set him free, and Dragut went back raiding with redoubled ferocity. Dragut, the drawn sword upon the middle sea. Dragut, the drawn sword, sailing fierce and free.
Captured once and ransomed, and he came back twice as strong. The finest corsair admiral the Mediterranean all along. Hey!
Dragut,
drawn sword bright.
Dragut,
terror of the night.
Dragut,
Malta shook, every Christian fleet feared everywhere he looked.
He died at the siege of Malta in 15 1565. A cannonball took him while he was still alive, with the victory almost certain on the Ottoman side. And Dragut, the drawn sword, took his final tide. Dragut, the drawn sword, upon the middle sea. Dragut, Dragut, drawn sword bright, every Christian fleet feared everywhere he looked. They captured him once, chained him to an oar, and he came back, and they never captured him again. The drawn sword always comes back. Corsair galley in the darkness and the heat, 100 men are rowing to the drumbeat and the beat, chained to their oars in shifts of 4 hours on 4 off, and the Mediterranean sun above them burning soft. Pull, pull, pull the oar, pull, pull, pull some more. How long have you been rowing? 3 years, 3 years chained. What do you think about home? Only home. Will you see home again? God willing, God willing. The galley slave came from everywhere beneath the sun, from Spain and France and England, and from everyone. The Corsairs took in raids along the European coast, and the ones who rode the longest were the ones who suffered most. The galley slave pulls the oar below the Mediterranean sun. The galley slave counts the strokes till the voyage is done. The galley slave dreams of home in the darkness down below. The galley slave is the hidden price of every Corsair show. Pull and breathe through the waves and seas. Dream of shore, the galley slave pulls the oar, and nothing more. Some galley slaves became Corsairs in the end, when they converted and the Corsairs chose to bend the rules of captivity and set their oarsmen free, to join the fleet and sail the Mediterranean Sea. The galley slave pulls the oar below the Mediterranean sun. Dream of shore. Galley slave pulls the oar, and nothing more. The Corsair story has 2 sides: the freedom of the Corsair and the chains below the deck. The Mediterranean remembers both, the oar and the sword, both of them. Both of them. Malta in the middle of the sea. The Knights of St. John made their last stand free against the Ottoman fleet and Dragut's Corsair horde, with nothing but their faith and the Crusaders' sword. Who held Malta against the Ottomans?
The Knights of Malta.
How many knights against how many Turks?
6,000 against 40,000.
Did Malta fall?
Never! Malta never fell!
In 1565 the Great Siege came to the Rock, and 40,000 Ottoman soldiers came to knock the Knights off their island and take it for the Crescent. But the Knights of Malta answered, and their answer was most pleasant.
Hey! The Knights of Malta held the Rock against the tide. 6,000 against 40,000, side by side. The Knights of Malta
Cross against the Crescent.
The Knights of Malta
Holding every present.
Malta, Malta,
The Rock holds fast,
Malta, Malta,
built to always last.
Malta, Malta.
Cross above.
The Knights of Malta held the Rock they loved.
They held and bled and died upon the walls until the Spanish fleet arrived to answer Malta's calls, and the Ottomans withdrew and left the island free. The greatest siege the Mediterranean ever did see.
The Knights of Malta held the Rock against the tide. Malta, Malta,
The Rock holds fast.
Malta, Malta,
The Rock.
The Knights of Malta held the Rock they loved.
6,000 against 40,000. 4 months of siege, and Malta held. The Knights held.
The Rock still stands.
The Rock still stands.
The cross still flies above it.
In 1575, a Spanish soldier young was captured by the Corsairs and his freedom wrung from him on the Algerian shore for 5 long years, before his family paid his ransom through their tears.
5 years in Algiers,
A Spanish soldier
who would become
the greatest writer Spain ever knew. Who was the Spanish soldier? Cervantes! Miguel de Cervantes. What did he do in captivity? He wrote, he planned, he dreamed. What did captivity give him?
Don Quixote.
It gave the world
Don Quixote.
He tried to escape 4 times and failed every one, but never lost the spirit that the Corsairs could not stun. And when the ransom finally came and set him free, he carried 5 years of Algiers inside him permanently.
5 years in Algiers changed the world we know. 5 years in Algiers
Made the stories grow.
5 years in Algiers
Gave us Don Quixote's dream.
5 years in Algiers
More important than when they seen Cervantes, Cervantes, chains and pen. Cervantes, Cervantes, rose again. Cervantes, 5 years in chains, and gave the world the finest story that remains. The Corsairs thought they had a Spanish soldier in their power, but what they really had was literature's finest hour. A man whose imagination could not be chained or sold, and who turned 5 years of captivity to gold. 5 years in Algiers changed the world we know.
Cervantes!
5 years in chains, and gave the world the finest story that remains. The Corsairs wanted ransom, they got it. But what they gave the world in return was worth infinitely more. 5 years of Cervantes in Algiers gave us Don Quixote. The Corsairs never knew what they had. Tripoli along the African shore, the Barbary Coast kept the Christian navies wanting more of revenge for every raid that the Corsairs ever made. But the Barbary Coast held strong and never was afraid. What stretches from Morocco east?
The Barbary Coast!
3,000 miles!
Who controls it?
The Corsairs! 300 years! Did any Christian navy take it?
They tried!
Algiers and Tunis and Tripoli, 4 Corsair states along the North African Sea, each with its own day and its own fleet to fly, and every Christian merchant gave the coast a wide and careful eye. The Barbary Coast, 3,000 miles of free. The Barbary Coast, the Corsairs' own sea. Name when young American ships into the Mediterranean came and found that the Corsairs taxed every flag that passed, until America sent a navy to the mast.
The Barbary Coast,
3,000 miles of free.
Barbary, Barbary,
North African shore.
The Barbary Coast kept the Corsairs wanting more.
3,000 miles, 4 Corsair states, 300 Corsair captain took us to the hammam when we docked, and every European pirate stood outside quite shocked at the concept of a building made entirely for the bath that was also a social institution on the path. Has anyone been to a hammam before? A what? A what exactly? A bathhouse for bathing socially. Socially? Bathing socially. Yes, everyone bathes together. We have questions. The first surprise was how incredibly hot the room. The second was the man who scrubbed us with a brush of doom. The third was that we emerged cleaner than we had been since the last time any of us could remember being clean.
The Turkish Bath,
the finest thing we never knew.
The Turkish Bath,
we came out completely new.
The Turkish Bath,
the scrubbing was intense.
The Turkish Bath,
but now we make more sense. Hammam, hammam, hot and clean. Hammam, hammam, finest thing we've seen. Hammam, scrub it all.
The Turkish Bath,
the finest Mediterranean call. Jenkins refused at first and had to be persuaded in by the captain, who pointed out the state of Jenkins' skin. And Jenkins went in grey and came out something like pink, and said it was the finest thing he could possibly think.
The Turkish Bath,
the finest thing we never knew.
Hammam, hammam,
scrub it all.
The Turkish Bath,
the finest Mediterranean call. Jenkins came out pink, genuinely pink. He had been grey for 3 years. We had assumed that was just Jenkins. It was not just Jenkins. It was 3 years of not bathing. The hammam fixed Jenkins.
Lepanto, Lepanto,
1571 upon the Gulf of Patras.
Lepanto, Lepanto,
the greatest naval battle of the Middle Sea by far. Hey! 200 Ottoman galleys against 200 Christian Moor. The largest fleet engagement the Mediterranean ever bore. The Holy League of Venice, Spain, and Rome combined against the Ottoman fleet, Dragut's Corsairs line. How many ships at Lepanto?
400!
400 ships! How many men? 100,000, both sides! Who won? The Christians!
For once, the Christians won!
The Christian fleet surprised the Ottomans with guns, and 6 galleasses changed the battle with their runs of cannon fire that scattered the Ottoman line. And by the afternoon the victory was fine.
Lepanto, the greatest sea battle known. Lepanto,
where Ottoman power was shown.
Lepanto,
400 ships in line.
Lepanto,
cannon fire and brine.
Lepanto, Lepanto,
400 sail.
Lepanto, Lepanto,
the finest naval tale.
Lepanto,
1571, the greatest sea battle under any sun. The Christians celebrated and declared the sea was won. But the Ottomans rebuilt their fleet before the year was done, and proved that one battle, however great it be, can controls the sea. Lepanto, the greatest sea battle known. Lepanto, 1571, the greatest sea battle under any sun. Hey! The Christians won Lepanto, the Ottomans rebuilt in a year, and the Corsairs kept raiding for 200 more years. One battle, even the greatest battle, never settles the sea. They called him Renegado, which meant a man who turned from the faith of his birth to the faith that he had earned through years of Corsair service on the Algerian shore. A European pirate who had become something more. Where were you born, Renegado? Somewhere in Europe, a long time ago. What are you now? A Corsair, an Algerian Corsair. Which faith do you follow? The one that gave me freedom, that one. The Renegados were the finest Corsair captains known. Europeans who converted and made Algiers their home. They knew the Christian ports and knew the Christian ways, and used that knowledge raiding through the Mediterranean days. The Renegado chose the Corsair life and sea. The Renegado found in Algiers something free. The Renegado left his old name at the door. The Renegado became what he was born for. Renegado, Renegado, changed his name. Renegado, Renegado played a different game. Renegado, Renegado found his place. The Renegado found his home upon the Mediterranean space. 1 in 5 Corsair captains in Algiers was born in Europe, and found the Corsair life the only life to hope. Was worth the living fully without apology. A Renegado choosing his own theology. The Renegado chose the Corsair life and sea. Renegado, Renegado found his place. The Renegado found his home upon the Mediterranean space. He was born in Genoa, or Lisbon or Marseille, and found himself in Algiers, and chose to stay, not from fear, but from belonging. The Renegado found his home in the most unexpected place. The Mediterranean is the oldest sea of all, where every empire rose and heard the ocean call. And every pirate, corsair, and admiral who came left something in the blue water, and the blue stayed the same. From Barbarossa to the knights who held the rock, from Dragut's drawn sword to Cervantes at the dock, from the white city of Algiers to Lepanto's cannon roar, the blue sea called them all, and called them all for more. What is the oldest sea? The Mediterranean, mother of all seas. What does she remember? Everything, every ship, every name. What does she call us to? The same thing she always called freedom. The blue sea calls, the blue sea always calls. The blue sea calls across the ancient miles. The blue sea calls through all the centuries and trials. The blue sea called the Corsairs and the Knights. The blue sea called them all to different fights. Blue sea, blue sea, blue sea, ancient and wide. Blue sea, blue sea, blue sea, Mediterranean tide. Blue sea, blue sea, blue sea, calling still. The blue sea calls whoever has the will. And we who sang these stories of the Middle Sea tonight have sailed alongside corsairs in the blue and ancient light of a sea that predates every empire, every flag, and will outlast every corsair and every battle's brag. Across the ancient miles. Blue sea, blue sea, blue sea, ancient and wide. Blue sea, blue sea, blue sea, calling still. The blue sea calls whoever has the will. 3,000 years of ships and the Mediterranean is unchanged. Barbarossa sailed it, the knights held it, Cervantes crossed it in chains. And we are singing about all of them, and the blue sea does not even notice. It just keeps calling. It just keeps calling. The red beard rises on the Mediterranean Sea. Barbarossa, Barbarossa, the terror of the Christians sailing free. Born in the Greek islands in the Ottoman age, Arujan Hayreddin wrote a different kind of page Two brothers from the Aegean who chose the Corsair way and made the whole Mediterranean fear their name one day. Who ruled the Mediterranean? Barbarossa, the Redbeard. Who did the Sultan call his admiral? Barbarossa. Hey Redden, did Spain ever stop him? Never, not once. Took Algiers and made it his own base, and built a fleet that put the Spanish fleet to chase. He raided Italy and France and Spain along the shore, and gave the Ottoman Sultan what no admiral had before. Hey! Algiers, he took Tunis, he took the Spanish pride. The Sultan made him admiral of every Ottoman tide. From the Bosphorus to Gibraltar, his red flag flew. Every Christian navy learned what Barbarossa knew, that the Mediterranean was never theirs to keep, while Barbarossa sailed it and the Corsairs did not sleep. They called him Barbarossa for the red beard that he wore, and every ship that saw it turned and ran for shore. The finest admiral the Ottoman Empire ever had was a Greek Corsair from the Aegean, and his brother lad. And every Corsair after him who sailed the Middle Sea sailed in the shadow of the Redbeard, sailing free from Algiers and from Tunis and from every Barbary shore. Barbarossa showed them what the Mediterranean was for. Barbarossa, the Redbeard Admiral Supreme. Barbarossa, more powerful than any Christian dream. Two brothers from the Aegean who refused to bow. The Mediterranean answer to the Redbeard then and now. Corsair, Corsair, Ottoman pride. Corsair, Corsair, the Middle Sea wide. Barbarossa, history bound. The finest Corsair name the Mediterranean allowed. Two brothers from a Greek island, one died fighting the Spanish, one became the greatest admiral in Ottoman history. The Mediterranean remembers both. Algiers was built on Corsair gold and Corsair steel and stone, and every day who ruled it called the Corsairs his own. For 300 years the white city of the North African shore was the finest Corsair base that the Mediterranean never bore. Who ruled Algiers? The Corsairs! 300 years! Who feared Algiers? Everyone! Spain, France, England, all! What made Algiers powerful? The Corsairs! Always the Corsairs! From Algiers they raided up and down the Spanish coast, and took the prizes that the Mediterranean valued most. Silver from the Spanish galleons, silk from Italian shore, and ransoms from the noble families wanting nothing nothing more. Hey! 300 years of Corsairs on the Algerian shore. 300 years of raiding and the Spanish wanting more. 300 years the white city stood proud above the sea. 300 years of Algiers, keeping Corsairs free. Algiers, Algiers, white city of the deep. Algiers, Algiers, secrets that she keeps. Algiers, Algiers, Corsair golden stone. 300 years of Algiers, calling Corsairs home. The Ottoman Sultan sent his blessing and his flag, and Algiers flew the crescent while the Corsairs filled their bag of prizes from the Christian ships that dared to sail between the Corsair coast and everything that Corsairs had seen. 300 years of Corsairs on the Algerian shore. Algiers, Algiers, Corsair golden stone. 300 years of Algiers, calling Corsairs home. 300 years, Spain tried to take it twice. England tried once, America tried at the end. And for 300 years, Algiers answered to nobody, nobody but the Corsairs. White walls above the harbor on the North African shore. A city built on Corsair gold and something more. The market's full of silk and spice and everything between. The finest city on the Mediterranean ever seen. The white city rising from the sea. Algiers, the Corsair capital. What does Algiers look like from the sea? White, blindingly white. What does it smell like? Spice and salt and something sweet. What does it feel like? Like nowhere else, like nowhere on earth. The terraced houses climbing up the hill above the bay, and minarets catching the light at the end of day. And in the harbor, Corsair ships loading up to sail, while the markets never close and the merchants never fail. The white city shines above the blue. The white city calls the Corsairs through. The white city built on salt and gold. The white city 300 years old. White city! White city! Harbor bright! White city! Corsair light! White city! Hill and bay! The white city of Algiers is here to stay. And every Corsair who came home from raiding on the sea looked first for the white walls that meant he was free of the ocean and the Christian fleet and everything behind, and found in the white city something like a piece of mind.
The white city shines above the blue.
White City!
White city corsair light.
The white city of Algiers is here to stay. White walls above the harbor, the smell of the market, the sound of the city, home for every corsair. The white city was always home. Sword of his Islam on the sea, Dragut raised the finest corsair that ever chose to be. A student of Barbarossa and a master in his own right, who made the Knights of Malta tremble in the night. Who was Barbarossa's finest student? Dragut Raise! Who terrified the Knights of Malta?
Dragut!
The drawn sword! Did the Christians ever capture him?
Once!
They captured him once, and then
Barbarossa bought him back.
he was too valuable to lose. The Genoes captured Dragut once upon a raid, and chained him to an oar as if he were its raid. But Barbarossa ransomed him with gold and set him free, and Dragut went back raiding with redoubled ferocity.
Dragut, the drawn sword upon the middle sea. Dragut, the drawn sword, sailing fierce and free.
Captured once and ransomed, and he came back twice as strong, the finest corsair admiral the Mediterranean all along.
Dragut,
drawn sword bright,
Dragut,
terror of the night.
Dragut,
Malta shook every Christian fleet, feared everywhere he looked. At the siege of Malta in 1565, a cannonball took him while he was still alive, with the victory almost certain on the Ottoman side, and Dragut the drawn sword took his final tide.
Dragut, the drawn sword upon the middle sea.
Dragut, drawn sword bright, every Christian fleet feared everywhere he looked. Captured him once, chained him to an oar, and he came back, and they never captured him again. The drawn sword always comes back. Of Malta, in the middle of the sea, the Knights of St. John made their last stand free against the Ottoman fleet and Dragut's corsair horde, with nothing but their faith in the Crusaders' sword. Who held Malta against the Ottomans?
The Knights of Malta.
How many knights against how many Turks?
6,000 against 40,000.
Did Malta fall?
Never.
Malta never fell. In 1565 the Great Siege came to the Rock, and 40,000 Ottoman soldiers came to knock the Knights off their island and take it for the Crescent. But the Knights of Malta answered, and their answer was most pleasant.
Of Malta held the Rock against the tide, 6,000 against 40,000 side by side. The Knights of Malta
Cross against the Crescent,
the Knights of Malta
holding every present.
Malta,
Malta, the Rock holds fast.
Malta, Malta
to always last.
Malta, Malta,
cross above.
the Knights of Malta held the Rock they loved.
4 months they held and bled and died upon the walls, until the Spanish fleet arrived to answer Malta's calls, and the Ottomans withdrew and left the island free. The greatest siege the Mediterranean never did see.
The Knights of Malta held the Rock against the tide. Malta, Malta,
the Rock holds fast.
Knights of Malta held the Rock they loved.
6,000 against 40,000. 4 months of siege, and Malta held. The Knights held. The Rock still stands. The cross still flies above it. Tripoli along the African shore, the Barbary Coast kept the Christian navies wanting more of revenge for every raid that the Corsairs ever made. But the Barbary Coast held strong and never was afraid. What stretches from Morocco east?
The Barbary Coast.
3,000 miles.
Who controls it?
The Corsairs. 300 years. Did any Christian navy take it?
They tried.
Oh, how they tried. Morocco and Algiers and Tunis and Tripoli, 4 Corsair states along the North African Sea, each with its own day and its own fleet to fly, and every Christian merchant gave the coast a wide and careful eye.
The Barbary Coast,
3,000 miles of free.
The Barbary Coast,
the Corsairs' own sea.
The Barbary Coast,
Morocco to Tripoli.
The Barbary Coast,
nobody sails it free.
Barbary, Barbary,
coast of the brave.
Barbary, Barbary,
nobody slave.
Barbary, Barbary,
North African shore.
the Barbary Coast
Kept the Corsairs wanting more. The Barbary Coast name when young American ships into the Mediterranean came and found that the Corsairs taxed every flag that passed, until America sent the mast.
The Barbary Coast,
3,000 miles of free Barbary, North African shore.
Barbary Coast,
Kept the Corsairs wanting more. 3,000 miles, 4 Corsair states, 300 years. Even America had to deal with them. The Barbary Coast, the finest stretch of free coast the Mediterranean never had.